We need to find more of a collaborative approach with the provincial government, and I don't think this sets up that kind of a relationship.
British Columbians could lose their say on new housing projects if the province chooses to strip veto powers from their local governments. Housing Minister David Eby says the municipalities aren't approving housing projects fast enough, and taking away their power with his proposed legislation would ensure homes are built to meet demand.
But I do think it's important that we have, opportunity for the public to provide their input.
District of North Vancouver Councillor Jordan Back agrees there's a dire need for intervention in BC's expensive housing market, but what Minister Eby puts forward goes too far.
The idea of losing that, I think, is somewhat concerning.
I think it's an acknowledgement of the severity of the issue.
Political science instructor Stuart Prest says the discussions around what's being built in a neighborhood are dominated and slowed down by the people who live there already, while the province's focus would go beyond local interests.
But when we have an ongoing crisis like this, it's clear that at a certain point, the buck has to stop with the province. They're ultimately responsible for those decisions.
The Union of BC Municipalities claims the province doesn't have a housing supply issue since population growth has kept up with housing supply. It also thinks there needs to be incentives to build the appropriate kind of housing supply. Tom Davidoff with the UBC Sauder School of Business says those claims aren't very convincing and that local governments need to recognize the need for more homes.
We can build very few units, and then the only people who choose to live here are people who can pay high rents. If we build lots of units, we draw in more people, and to get those people interested, we have to lower rents. The question is, where do we want prices to be?
The legislation taking away local veto powers is supposed to be introduced next fall. In Vancouver, Kier Junos, City News.